everyone. I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from around the country. On Monday, Cuba reopened their embassy in Washington, D.C. for the first time since the U.S. and Cuba severed ties in 1961. Rome Reports takes a look at the reconciliation between the two countries and the Vatican's contribution to the process.
It's a day that will go down in history. July 20th, 2015 will forever be marked as the day diplomatic ties were reestablished between the U.S. and Cuba. This after more than 50 years of political tension between both nations. The Vatican played a key role in this historic move. In fact, Pope Francis personally reached out to both leaders in the process. He even invited both parties to the Vatican to discuss their negotiations. Even so, on his recent return flight from Latin America, the Pope downplayed his role. He said it was all the work of a higher power.
Soltanto ho pregato su questo. Non mi sono deciso a fare, ma cosa posso fare con questi due dopo più di 50 anni che stanno così? Ma poi il Signore mi ha fatto pensare a un cardinale e lui è andato lì e ha parlato e poi non ho saputo niente. Sono passati i mesi e un giorno il segretario di Stato che è qui mi ha detto ma domani avremo la seconda riunione con i due equipi. Ma come? Sì, si parlano, fra i due equipi si parlano e stanno facendo, solo è andato, non è stato mediazione, ma è stato la buona volontà dei due paesi. Il merito è loro, è il merito di loro che hanno fatto questo.
More news now from around the country. One of the 5 servicemen killed in last week's shooting in Tennessee was Marine Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan, who's a Springfield, Massachusetts native and a graduate of Cathedral High School in Springfield. Sullivan, along with the other servicemen, were killed at a Navy Marine Training Center in Chatanooga by 24-year-old Kuwaiti-born Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz. The FBI is investigating the shooting, have not ruled out the possibility it was a homegrown terror attack. Meanwhile, Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky released a statement saying Sullivan represented all that is good about our country, upholding our values and a willingness to put the needs of others ahead of self. He asked the diocesan community to remember Sullivan and his family in their prayers. Another story now from around the country. The National Center on Sexual Exploitation held a symposium at the U.S. Capitol exposing pornography as a public health crisis and how porn fuels sex trafficking, child exploitation, and sexual violence. The room where the meeting was held overflowed with Capitol Hill congressional staffers, reporters, and the general public for the afternoon of speeches. Numerous speakers discussed research conducted on the negative impacts porn has upon society. One of the speakers, Gail Dines, a professor of sociology and women's studies at Wheelock College in Boston, said that 36% of content on the internet is pornographic, and online porn brings in a total revenue of $3,000 per second. Dines said on average 1 out of every 4 internet searches is about porn. Pornography, she said, is the public health crisis of the digital age. In news now from the Vatican. In his first public appearance since returning from Latin America, Pope Francis led the Angelus prayer over a packed and very hot St. Peter's Square on Sunday. Rome Reports has more from the Vatican.
After spending 8 days in Ecuador, Bolivia, and Paraguay, Pope Francis entrusted the fruits of the apostolic trip to Our Lady of Guadalupe, the patroness of the Americas.
Che l'intera America Latina venera quale patrona col titolo di Nostra Signora di Guadalupe, affido i frutti di questo indimenticabile viaggio apostolico.
Reflecting on Sunday's gospel readings, the Pope described Jesus as the Good Shepherd who leads by example. The Pope explained that Jesus sees his flock not through the eyes of a doctor or psychologist, but rather through the eyes of the heart.
Li possiamo chiamare i verbi del pastore: vedere, avere compassione e insegnare. Il primo e il secondo, vedere e avere compassione, sono sempre associati nell'atteggiamento di Gesù.
The Pope concluded by saying that the third element, that of teaching, is taught mainly by example, and that, he said, is the best tool to evangelize the faith.
And finally in the news, the U.S. Archdiocese for the Military Services is in desperate need for priests to serve as military chaplains. As a result, the Archdiocese is holding its first discernment gathering for Catholic priests to encourage them to think about becoming a military chaplain. For God and Country, a call to serve those who serve will be held October 5th through the 9th in Washington. Archbishop Timothy Broglio, the head of the Military Archdiocese, said that Catholics make up 1/4 of the military population and they only have 8% of the chaplain corps. Discernment attendees will stay in a Washington retreat house, and their schedule includes visits to Joint Andrews Air Force Base, the U.S. Naval Academy, and the Pentagon. The priests can celebrate Mass in the Pentagon Memorial Chapel at the 9/11 crash site. Interested priests can apply for the gathering via the Archdiocese website, milarch.org. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV network.